Hello and welcome back to Love Spell. I assume today we're supposed to start our first day in the job, like working for Marcello as a secretary or whatever that will entail. So let's get into episode 4, Dancing with Danger. I take a deep breath to calm my nerves, but I immediately regret it when the strong smell of alcohol and tobacco overwhelms my senses. It reeks in here. It's a strip club in the shadiest part of town, Pinks. What did you expect it to smell like? Magnolias or something? I swallow hard as I walk into a cramped underground nightclub in tow with Marcello and several of his suited bodyguards. Loud music blares as I watch scantily clad women dance and undress on metal poles around the room. I can't help but scowl in disgust as I watch men slobbering and throwing cash in their direction. What? Strippers aren't your thing? From what I saw yesterday in the bath, I'd say you'd make a great one. Thanks, but no thanks. I'd like to make a living with my clothes on. No disrespect to sex workers on this channel, by the way. Your shame. Oh well, to each their own, I suppose. I can't help but grow more and more annoyed as we walk further into the nightclub. My thoughts linger back to a previous conversation from earlier this morning. I block Marcello's path as I shoot him a look. So, what is it exactly what you do again? And why can't I find any information on your business online? Marcello rolls his eyes as he shoots me an unimpressed look. Good grief, this again? Didn't I say you didn't need to know? Why do you ask so many questions anyways? I'm still paying you a ton of money, aren't I? That may be so, but I can't do my job properly like this. I have questions and I think I deserve answers. Like, why are there so many suited men around you all the time? And exactly just what kind of business do you run? And why do people keep threatening me? And why are there designated bathrooms? Marcello growls in anger as he gives me a pointed glare. He briskly marches towards me and corners me against a wall. My heart inexplicably begins to race as he leans in ever closer. I can hear annoyance lace his tone. Alright, I'm getting real tired of this shit. Listen up, cause I'm only going to say this once. Stop trying to stick your nose in places it doesn't belong, or you might just end up on the other side of a tombstone. Got that? Tombstone? Understanding the message loud and clear, I drop my eyes silently and subtly hug myself as a shiver runs down my spine. After a few moments, Marcello looks down at me and lets out a deep sigh. He releases me and tears his hand through his hair as he turns around. Listen, all you need to know right now is that my men and I are gathering information in this town, alright? We are looking for clues on a certain event that happened and, well, you're a local, so we could definitely use your help. You'll be well compensated and... Marcello approaches me again, but this time his tone is gentle. His eyes glint in guilt as I hug myself closer and avoid eye contact instinctively as he grows closer to me. He reaches out his finger, slowly lifting my chin to look at him. I can feel my cheeks heat up inexplicably as I stare into his softened amber eyes. And as long as you stay near me, I promise you'll be safe. I give you my word. I protect you. So, think you can trust me on this one? Just this once? I'm taken aback by his words, but I feel a radiating honesty from them. I think back on how he saved me last night, and I can't help but bite my lip. Alright, I'll place my trust in you, if only for a while longer. There we go. You know, you're pretty cute when you're not screaming like a damn banshee all the time.
Excuse me? How rude! Who are you calling a banshee, you big oaf? If I'm a banshee, you're like a crazed, moody, violent gorilla or something.
Why, you little... Well, this crazed, moody, violent gorilla is the one who's gonna be signing your paychecks, so I better hear some respect. Got that?
You wish.
Wow. Okay.
I can't help but whine childishly as I turn to Marcello.
I just don't understand why I'm even here. It's not like I even know what kind of information you guys are looking for.
Oh, did you forget that you're being targeted? Or would you have preferred I left you in a big strange manner with no one around? Might as well dress you up in gift wrap and slap a ribbon on your head at that point.
I could have stayed with Valentino.
My butler isn't your babysitter. Now be quiet and keep walking. We won't be here long anyways.
Okay. I growl in annoyance, but know that I can't argue more. As we make our way through the crowd, I spot two half-naked women appear and saunter over to Marcello.
Hey handsome, wanna have some fun tonight?
You're such a big guy. I bet I know what else is big too. Okay. I can't believe she actually just said that out loud. I glance up at Marcello's face, and I can't help but frown further as an amused, prideful grin dances on his lips.
Oh, I'd love to play with you lovely ladies all night long, but unfortunately I'm on a job tonight. Maybe next time.
Don't say that, handsome. I'm sure we can make you reconsider. Yeah, maybe you just need a little taste of what you're in for.
I can't contain my gasp when one of the strippers throws her arms around Marcello and pulls him into a heated kiss. That's not what strippers usually do, but okay. I immediately glance over at several of the suited bodyguards behind us, expecting them to leap into action. But they just swallow nervously and avert their eyes. The stripper pulls away seductively as Marcello chuckles deeply, his hand resting on her waist. My eye twitches angrily as I ball my hands into fists. The other stripper giggles as she attempts to join in the fun, but... what should I do? Scare them away? Slap Marcello? Scream. Just scream. Okay. I mean, at this point in their quote-unquote relationship, I wouldn't do either of these. It's like, what? Why? Sorry, this is kind of stupid. Okay, I think just for the heck of it, I'm going to slap him. Why not?
Oh, how could you? On our 5th wedding anniversary!
I yell as I land a clean, crisp slap across Marcello's face. I watch as the strippers gasp and several of Marcello's suited bodyguards freak out amongst each other.
Is that your wife? How could you bring your wife to a place like this? Wow, on your wedding anniversary? That's a new kind of low.
I grin as the strippers scoff and walk away, shooting Marcello ugly looks. Marcello stares back at me dumbfounded as he holds his cheek. I cross my arms as I shoot him a smile.
You okay, boss?
What the hell was that for? 5th wedding anniversary? What kind of bullshit?
Well, well, if it isn't the Dragon Prince himself along with his little posse. Our banter is interrupted by a small, stout man walking towards us. I notice Marcello's expression immediately changes as he shoots the man a knowing look.
Ah, Mr. Lombardi, the man of the hour. So glad we finally found you. I believe I was the one who found you, Mr. Dinucci. Come, let us speak in my private booth.
Mr. Lombardi eyes me up and down as if I were a piece of meat on sale, and he licks his lips.
Please, please, bring your friend too. Oh gosh.
What have we gotten ourselves into now?
Really? No. Whatever.
I can't help but shudder as I can feel a lecherous gaze on me from across the table. Mr. Lombardi sits next to 2 of his men as he twirls ice in his glass. Marcello chucks the remains in his own glass before he slams it down on the table.
Well, let's cut to the point, shall we? My sources say you were one of the last people to come into contact with Don Nucci before the accident. What can you tell me about what happened that night?
Mr. Lombardi leans his head back in coy laughter as he pours more whiskey into Marcello's empty glass.
My, so serious and straight to the point, aren't we? Just like your father was. My condolences, by the way. Don Nucci was a great man, and an even greater business partner. It's a shame we lost him so soon.
Father? Marcello stares at the ice in his glass for a few moments before tearing his gaze up.
Enough. Tell me what you know, Lombardi.
Well, there's not much to tell. That night before the ship was set to sail, I was serving your father and extending some of my men to help load the cargo. Unfortunately, I can't tell you about much after the time they left port, but I can show you something that should point you in a clearer direction.
Show me, you say?
Mr. Lombardi chuckles as he leans back into the couch. He swirls the ice around in his glass as he looks back up to Marcello with a cocky smile.
Oh, my dear Marcello, you have much yet to learn if you wish to fill your father's shoes. Nothing in this world is a secret for too long, and as long as you're willing to pay the correct price, I can show you anything.
Marcello sits back in his chair while narrowing his eyes at Mr. Lombardi.
Then name your price.
Oh no.
Oh, it's not terribly expensive. I do have compassion for your rather unfortunate situation, with the sudden loss of your father and all the members of Dragoon. Oh, it's woeful. I can only imagine what you must be going through. My poor, poor Marcello.
Yeah, come on, cut the crap.
Marcello's eye twitches as he glares down daggers at the smirking man in front of him, who merely takes a sip from his glass. Enough with the bullshit and tell me what you want, Lombardi.
Mr. Lombardi chuckles darkly under his breath as he sets down the glass and looks at me with a grin.
Hehe. Well, I want that girl standing beside you. That's all.
What? Mr. Lombardi eyes me up and down as he licks his lip, and I can't help but scowl.
Well, what do you say? Do we have an agreement? I'm cutting me quite a deal here, really. You know my information doesn't come cheap.
Marcello, tell him to screw off.
Fine. She's yours.
What?
I gawk, but Marcello keeps his eyes focused on Lombardi.
But I want the information first.
Ah, smart guy.
Huh? Do you take me for a fool? That's not how things work down here, Marcello, and you know that. Hand over the girl, and then I'll give you what you want.
Mr. Lombardi motions towards his men, and I yelp as they attempt to grab me. Marcello motions towards his men, and they intervene.
That's not happening. Well, you see, little dragon. I'm afraid I wasn't asking.
I gasp as Mr. Lombardi reaches into his coat and pulls out a gun, pointing it straight at Marcello. Marcello doesn't even flinch as he merely glares daggers at the man. Marcello's guards attempt to move, but he stops them with a simple lift of a hand.
Hand over the girl, or I'll blow your brains out right here, and you can join your dear father in the depths of hell. Why do you want her so much? You have your fair pick of women around you. Is it really just 'cause you can't keep it in your pants? Huh. Well, I suppose that's only half true. You see, there's already been a nice price posted for a pretty little head.
Price? On my head?
Marcello's eyes darken as he stares at Lombardi.
So then you were just bluffing this whole time? You don't even have any evidence at all, do you? Why, how dare you? I'm a man of my word, of course I have evidence.
Before Lombardi can finish his sentence, Marcello grabs the entire glass table and flings it at him. Men around the room immediately swing into action as the sound of gunshots ring out across the room. I quickly hide behind a couch and cover my ears as I watch the men duke it out. Lombardi swings a swift kick, but Marcello grabs him and punches him in the stomach as he tumbles backwards.
You pay for that, you insolent whelp!
It doesn't take long before Marcello's men eventually overpower Lombardi's. Marcello steps on Lombardi's beaten face, pressing him further into the ground.
You'll pay for this, you dragon. Well, what's it gonna be, Lombardi? The evidence or your life? Make your choice, I haven't got all night.
Fine. Here. I found this on the port at the boat as the boat was leaving. Make of it what you will.
Lombardi's hand shakes as he hands Marcello a small, familiar pin. The outline of a black lion with silver detailing shimmers in the room's light. Marcello steps off Lombardi as he scrutinizes the pin closely.
So I was right. It is them.
I gasp loudly as an arm suddenly pulls me back and a knife is pointed at my throat. Marcello glares daggers at the goon who took me hostage as he shifts into a defensive stance.
And let me guess, they're the same ones posting the price on her head too, right?
I can't help but yelp as the man brings the blade closer to my neck. At the same time, Lombardi reaches into his shirt and pulls out another gun, pointing it at Marcello's back.
Ding ding ding, we have a winner.
Marcello, look out!
Just as Marcello turns around, 2 gunshots are heard. I immediately jump away as the man who was holding me falls to the floor and Lombardi's hand lifelessly falls to the ground. Valentino stands in the doorway as he lowers both of his guns.
My apologies for my lateness, signore, but I come bearing urgent news.
The lions have finally started to move. Oof. Wow. That escalated quickly, I'd say. Later that night, I let out a deep sigh as I stare out of the room's window. I watch as employees of the manor run about outside in a flurry. Even though it's the dead of night, the manor is alive and more awake than ever. Why? Why won't he just tell me the truth? My thoughts linger back to a conversation between me and Marcello earlier that night. My shaking is stronger than ever as I tug onto Marcello's sleeve. Ever since we left the nightclub, he hasn't spoken a single word to me. Marcello, please. Please, tell me what's going on. I have a right to know. Why? Why do people keep coming after me? He stops and I look up at him, but he doesn't turn around. Marcello lets out a deep sigh. Fine. Slowly, he turns to face me, and my eyes widen. He wears an expression I've never seen before. I thought trying to keep you out of this as much as possible was the best way to keep you safe, but I see that's not much of an option at this point. I can only swallow hard at his intense tone. I stare at him expectantly before he shoots me a tired smile and ruffles my hair. I'll tell you tomorrow, Pinks. I promise.
What? But...
It's late, and I still have some stuff to take care of. I told Tito not to bug you anymore, so you can get some proper rest. Pretty sure you need it. Marcello ruffles my hair and says nothing more as he walks away. I let him go, but can't help but bite my lip. You're not going to tell me anything, are you? I let out a deep sigh as I plop back on the soft bed and stare up at the ornate ceiling. After a few moments, I shoot back up. An idea pops into my mind as I look towards the door. I narrow my eyes. You know what? Forget this. Forget all of this. I'm just going back home. I'm getting the heck out of here and going back to my normal life. And no one's gonna stop me.
Yeah, you tell him, sister.
My eyes widen at the familiar voice as I look up to see the round pink penguin from before, lying on my bed, stuffing mozzarella sticks into her mouth from a frozen bag. She sticks a frozen stick out at me before she grins. You again? So, I'm not crazy. Or am I?
Want one? I don't know what these things are, but they're so tasty. I found them in the kitchen downstairs.
I'm good.
Oh, my name is Philia. I'm a messenger sent to guide you on your experience of true love. T? Nice to formally meet you, Master K.
How do you know my name? And why are you talking?
Oh boy. Okay, let me start from the beginning.
I watch incredulously as the small penguin plops up on two flippers and waddles over to me.
Okay, so do you remember how a few days ago you saved a sweet old woman while crossing the street?
Yeah?
Well, that old woman was actually the world's most powerful witch.
A witch?
Yep. And remember how she gave you a notebook and an extremely adorable looking pen? notebook was actually a magical spell book with the ability to make anyone whose name you write in it fall in love with you.
What? Philia jumps up and suddenly clasps a flipper over my mouth, motioning for me to be quiet.
Listen, Master, you really don't want to be too loud right now? The scary looking people outside, yeah, they don't look too happy.
I shake a flipper off my mouth before I stare at her, dumbfounded. Philia merely pops another mozzarella stick into her beak as she continues.
Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so you got a magical notebook and a pen, and then later that night you opened the notebook and cast a spell, and now here we are. Yep, I think that about covers it. Any questions?
What?
Oh, and the pen was actually me. This is my true form. Get it? Because I'm a penguin? Master, you're right. You look a little pale.
I grab a nearby pillow and smack myself with it. After a few moments, I look back up and still see the small penguin in front of me, looking at me curiously. Oh god, I'm not dreaming.
Not really. So, yeah, anyways. Tell me about that hunk, huh? What was his name again? Marco... Oh wait, Marcello, right? He's so dreamy. You made a great choice in choosing a hottie like him, Master.
Choice? What do you mean choice?
Yeah, don't you remember, silly? You wrote his name into the love spell. So now he's in love with you. And what a catch, huh? Ophelia is so jealous.
I feel my legs give out, forcing me to sit back down on the bed. I try to process all the information thrown at me as I dart my eyes across the room.
See? Does he make Master's knees feel like jelly?
Philia, right? So, let me get this straight. You're saying I casted some sort of spell on Marcello? And now he's in love with me?
Yep. It's so strange you don't remember. After all, I'm sure you must remember reading the instructions on the love spell. It's not like you didn't know what you were getting yourself into.
I swallow hard as memories of the fated night at the bar suddenly begin to resurface. I open the notebook only to stare into blank pages.
Huh? What am I reading? I don't get a word of this.
Is it about suing?
I don't understand anything. But it said to write someone's name in.
Maybe it's like textbook.
Yeah, that's it.
In that case, I'll write that jerk's name from earlier.
I think I still have that stupid card he gave me.
My blood runs cold as I look back up towards Philia. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me.
Ooh, what is it? Did you finally remember? See, I knew you would.
Philia, you're saying that I wrote Marcello's name into that book and now...
Yep, he's in love with you. That's probably why he whisked you away to this beautiful manor and stuff. So romantic.
I immediately stand up and run out to the balcony as I peer out at the ground below. Okay, so if my math is right, the jump from up here to those bushes down there shouldn't land me in the hospital.
Master? What are you doing?
I turn to Philia with a nervous expression. I inadvertently gulp.
Philia, there's no easy way to say this, but
I was completely drunk when I wrote in that magical notebook, or whatever.
huh?
Meaning, I also had no intention of writing Marcello's name, and I also didn't read the instructions, so... Oh, but at least I finally know why all this crazy stuff is happening to me lately. That's kind of a relief. I was beginning to think I was going insane. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to jump out of this window and escape now. It was nice meeting you. See ya! A sudden strong breeze picks up as I hold onto the balcony. I peek my head back over my shoulder to watch Philia as she throws a mozzarella stick at me. I dodge out of the way before I turn around. Hey, watch where you're...
You insolent mortal!
I scream as Philia throws an incoming flurry of mozzarella sticks at me. She squawks angrily as she empties the whole bag onto the floor, but instead of falling, the mozzarella sticks glow a bright pink and float in the air before being aimed and propelled violently towards my direction.
Do you know what you could have done, you idiot? How could you not read the instructions on a spell that powerful before you cast it? You insolent, careless human! You will pay for your irresponsibility tenfold! Wait! Aim and fire! Death by cheese!
Oh, okay. Wow, that was a turbulent episode. A lot of action, not least of all the mozzarella attack. I love Philia. Oh man. Oh. Ooh, okay, that was quite something. We still didn't learn that much more about why we're being targeted. I guess it has to do with the lions? Interesting, so it's dragon versus lion, I suppose. Isn't it traditionally dragon versus tiger? Oh well. Let's see if we'll find out something more about this next time, if Marcello will keep his promise and give us some more information. I mean, I guess we'll figure out what happened eventually. But yeah, until next time, bye bye!